Hey friends, hey, welcome to another Bible story. Today's story is called A New Way to See. It's from the Jesus Storybook Bible, and it's in the New Testament in Acts chapters 6 through 9, 12 through 28, Colossians chapter 2, Romans chapter 8, and Ephesians chapter 2. Whew, that's a lot. Let's hear what it has to say. Of all the people who kept the rules, Saul was the best. I'm good at being good, he'd tell you. He was very proud and very good, but he wasn't very nice. Saul hated everyone who loved Jesus. He traveled around looking for them. He wanted to catch them and put them in prison. He wanted everyone to forget all about Jesus. He didn't believe Jesus was the rescuer, and he didn't believe Jesus was alive either. You see, Saul had never met Jesus. So one day, Jesus met Saul. And there's Saul, and he's a really good rule follower. He's not very nice. Saul was on his way to Damascus when suddenly a dazzling light flashed like lightning. It was brighter than the sun. It was too bright. Saul shielded his eyes and fell to the ground. He heard a loud voice. It was too loud. It gave Saul a headache. Saul, Saul, said the loud voice, why are you fighting me? Lord, Saul answered, who are you? I'm Jesus, said the voice. When you hurt my friends, you're hurting me too. Saul's whole body trembled. Go to the city, Jesus said, and I'll tell you what to do. And there's Saul. And the light is so bright, and he just doesn't know what is happening. So let's see what happens next. When Saul opened his eyes, he couldn't see. His helpers had to hold his hand and lead him like a little child. Saul was blind for 3 whole days. And yet, it was as if he was seeing for the very first time. Meanwhile, there was a man named Ananias who loved Jesus. Jesus came to him in a dream. Go to Saul and pray for him, and I will make him see again. Ananias knew all about Saul and how he hated Jesus' followers. Lord, he's come to hurt us. But Jesus told Ananias, Saul is the one I've chosen to tell the whole world who I am. So Ananias went to Saul. Brother Saul, Ananias said, it was Jesus you met on the road. And Ananias prayed for Saul. Suddenly, Saul could see again. But he saw everything differently. He wasn't mean anymore. He even changed his name from Saul to Paul, which means small and humble, the very opposite of proud. And do you know what Ananias' name means? The Lord is full of grace. Grace is just another word for gift, which is funny because that's just what Paul's messages were all about from then on. So there's Paul with his friends leading him to sea, and Ananias helps him out. It's not about keeping rules, Paul told people. You don't have to be good at being good for God to love you. You just have to believe what Jesus has done and follow him. Because it's not about trying, it's about trusting. It's not about rules, it's about grace. God's free gift that cost him everything. What had happened to Paul? He met Jesus. Paul got a new job. He called himself a servant and traveled everywhere telling everyone about Jesus. He got shipwrecked 3 times. He even ended up in prison. God loves us, he wrote from prison. Nothing can ever, no, not ever, separate us from the never stopping, never giving up, unbreaking, always and forever love of God he showed us in Jesus. And so it was. Just as God promised Abraham that dark night all those years ago, the family of God's children grew and grew until one day they would come to number more than even all the stars in the sky. And there's Paul right there. And look, he got shipwrecked. But that wouldn't stop him from sharing about God's love for people. So that's the end of our story for today. Come back tomorrow as we learn from another story from the Bible. Thanks for stopping by. Take care.